Good afternoon, students. Today we are going to learn about memory. What is memory? Memory is a place in computer where user can store the data. What is memory? It is a place in computer where user can store the data in electronic form. Okay, one question can be arises here. What is electronic signal? So I would like to tell you electronic signal is a signal in computer where data will be stored in form of 0 and 1, which is the concept of binary number. Why is it so? Because computer understands only and only binary language. So that is why in memory every kind of data will be stored in form of electronic signal and it will be in form of 0 and 1. Clear? So memory is a place in computer which is used to save or store the data. Now how many parts of memory is there? There are two types of memory. First one is primary memory and second one is secondary memory. Now let's see what is primary memory. Primary memory is also the type of memory which allows us to save the data in temporary way. Why it allows us to save the data in temporary way? Because it does not store data for long time. Even you can store the data for long time, but for that you need to have a connection of power supply. So what is the concept of primary memory? Primary memory allows us to save the data, but you make sure that you should have a connection of power supply, then only your data can remain there. But as power supply will cut off, immediately your every or all data will be erased from the primary memory. Then what is secondary memory? Secondary memory allows us to save the data permanently where power supply is there or not. Does not matter. It does not matter whether power supply is there or not, because it is a concept of secondary memory. It allows us to save the data permanently for long time. Right? Now let's see what is the primary memory. Actually, if I tell you, if I would like to tell you about, in detail about primary memory. First one is, there are three parts of primary memory: RAM, ROM and cache memory. How many parts of secondary memory? There are not any parts of secondary memory. We can have a lots of example of secondary memory like CD, DVD, pen drive, floppy disk, etc. These are the examples of the secondary memory, and these are the examples of the primary memory. Now in primary memory, let me tell you about RAM. What is RAM? RAM stands for random access memory. Why its name is random access memory? Because in RAM memory we can access the data randomly. There is no order. Randomly we can access the data, and RAM is a volatile nature. Volatile nature means it is a changeable nature. Means whatever data we store in the RAM memory, we can write it, we can edit, we can read. So these all permission will be given by the RAM memory. So RAM allows us to edit the data, read the data or modify the data in the RAM memory. Whereas ROM does not allow to edit or modify the data, so that only in ROM memory we can only read the data but we cannot write it. Whereas I told you about the RAM, in RAM we can write, edit and modify the data. That is why RAM memory is a volatile nature, whereas ROM memory is a non-volatile nature. Non-volatile nature means which will not be changed at all. So in ROM memory we cannot change anything. Whatever is written, that will be remain same forever. And second thing I would like to tell you, in ROM memory only we can read the data but we cannot write or edit or modify. Right? So RAM used to store the data for very short time. Even if power supply is there, then data will remain there. As power supply will cut off, your data will be erased from the RAM memory. But what happens in ROM? ROM is a part of primary memory, so it should be also on same concept. Means data should be stored for short time or till the connection of power supply. But it's not like that. ROM is a part of primary memory, but it works on the concept of secondary memory. Why is it so? Because as I told you, ROM stores the data permanently. It is a part of primary memory, but it stores the data permanently. Means once I have written something in the ROM memory, so it will be remain forever until you erase it, right? So next one comes cache memory. Cache memory is also the part of primary memory which stores the data temporarily till the connection of power supply. And when will it be used? Actually it is used to increase the speed of system. Cache memory basically it is used in the computer to increase the speed of system. And where will it be used? It will be used between the RAM memory and microprocessor. The cache memory will be used between RAM memory and microprocessor for passing of data. The cache memory only used to pass the data from RAM to microprocessor and microprocessor to RAM. Now let's come on the secondary memory. If we see, there are lots of examples of secondary memory like CD, DVD, pen drive, floppy disk, even you can say hard disk, which is mostly used nowadays in the computer, right? So these are the examples of secondary memory which allows us to save the data permanently for long time. So I hope these all points you all have understood. If any problem comes, you can ask me in comments. Thank you.